Okay, so yesterday we did a video on this phone right here, POCO, and it was the POCO C40, and that phone was on POCO's far left budget friendly. You know, I don't have any money. How do I get a cell phone? That was what they had to offer you. But today we're going on this side of the spectrum. And we're looking at the POCO F4. You guys can see it right here. This is the F4. So we're going to do kind of the same thing that we did yesterday for the C40, where we're going to take a look at kind of what the phone gives you. We are going to check out what comes in the box. We're going to go through the setup. We're going to look a little bit, maybe just at the camera, just to see. We're going to look at how it plays the game. And of course, we'll run it through 2 or 3 benchmarks. Yeah. All right, guys, so POCO F4. Now, this phone, this is in Canadian dollars. You're looking at, I think, yeah, between like $500 and $667. There's a $150 range for this phone, POCO F4. Where do you get like a flagship phone for just over $500, even if it's, you know, only with, I don't know, 128 gigs? Nowhere. POCO, that's where you get it. Anyways, this phone here, you can see, Snapdragon 870 with 5G, 120 hertz, 6.67 inch screen, AMOLED display, 64 megapixel main camera with optical image stabilization. So it has optical image stabilization, which is nice, and a 67 watt turbo charging. So, and it usually does come with a charger. Now, just be aware, depending on where you buy it from, it may come with a European charger. So just make sure if you're wherever you are that it may come with the charger that you need, and if not, that you have a charger that you can use that's 67 watts or more, right? Here you go. 3.2 gigahertz ultra high CPU frequency. I'm just going to go through these fast. Liquid cool technology. You guys can see it on the screen. LPDDR5 plus UFS 3.1. It looks like it's going to be nice and smooth for loading stuff. 45 milliamp hour battery. 38 minutes to charge to 100%. That's awesome. Here you go. It's a DCI-P3. 1300 nits. That should be nice and bright. MEMC, true color, 5 million to 1 contrast ratio, 2400 by 1080 display, supports Dolby Vision and HDR10 Plus, which is great. Ultra tiny dot display, and they're talking about the actual camera there. They say it's one of the smallest like pinhole cameras out there. 120 hertz dynamic switch display, which means it kind of knows what you're doing and will switch to 120 hertz, I believe, when it thinks it needs it. And in other aspects where the monitor or the display is kind of stationary, it switches back to like 60. So it'll go between 60, 90, and 120, which is great, because if you lock it at 120, you go through battery that you didn't need to be going through. New camera layout, which is cool. Light, 7.7 millimeters thick and 195 grams. There's your camera. Now, this is, I'm going to stop here for a second. 64 megapixel, I think is great. 8 megapixel, fine. 2 megapixel, not enough for anything, really. They need to up this. Get it to at least 5. 5 I'd be okay with, but 2, talks about what the image is like with your optical image stabilization on versus off, you know. 64 megs, yep. 119 degree ultra wide. And what I like here too, they talk about, this one is a 4K, so it does have 4K. A lot of the POCO phones don't, they're 1080, so this is actually 4K, which is good. Dual speakers, super nice, because the last phone, the phone we did yesterday, just a single. And there you go. It has MIUI 13, NFC, a side fingerprint sensor, which I like better than the back, IR blaster. Now, what it doesn't have, and I don't think any of the POCO phones have it, is wireless charging. And if you want, you can go to POCO's website and get the full specs. So there you go. Here's the phone. Let's look at the phone, shall we? So here's the box. It's lovely. It's POCO. That's what it is. It's POCO. It's POCO. There's not a lot on it, which is fine. I don't need a lot on it. I'm not, you know, whatever. This is a box full of manuals and your actual SIM card remover. Other than that, it's all manuals. And this one comes with a little case, which is nice. The cheap, I see the cheap one, the C40, I don't believe came with a case. So this one comes with a case. I'm sure on the C40, they're like, just how can we get this thing to be as cheap as possible, right? Here's the phone. We'll come back to that in a second. And inside here, yeah, see, I still got the European one. So just kind of be aware. I have a lot of chargers, so it's not an issue, but it's big, right? 67 watts. And you do get a USB-C, nice long cable, USB-C to USB-A, so for charging. And again, it's a cable that's going to support that 67 watts. So really good stuff for you and I to have. Now, again, I don't know if you can find this phone and get it with a like a North American charger, possibly. If not, like I said, if you have to go on the Amazon and get one, they're not that expensive. So here it is, POCO F4 Snapdragon, 120 hertz, 64 megapixel, 67 watt turbocharge. And there's that camera array, right? There's the 3 cameras right there. I'm guessing the big one at the top is the actual 64 megapixel. I like the fact that it has optical image stabilization, because not all of them, like I said, do. So, all right, I'm look at that. That's nice on the back, eh? See the cool lines down there. You have to make the noise. There it is, right there. That's slick. And in the front, it already has fingerprints on it. So be it. But it's nice on the edge. The edging is really nice. Camera does stick out a little bit. You guys can see that, right? Camera does definitely stick out of there. So you get like a hump there and then another kind of hump, but that's okay. 2 buttons on the side, volume, and that's kind of it. There's your, looks like speaker, USB-C. There's your SIM card, and you should have a speaker on this side as well with like microphones and stuff like that. All right, but already you can see, look how smudgy it gets. It does get smudgy. It's that piano black, right? Which is why, honestly, on the C40, because it's this textured, you can still see fingerprints, but it's definitely not as obvious, right? But when it's clean, it's sharp, for sure. Okay, let's turn this on. Let's turn it on. And we'll go through the setup here. So my guess is this is going to be very similar to yesterday, but faster. I'm hoping faster. All right. La, 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 la. MIUI. So yeah, it's already faster for sure. All right, tap. And we're going to switch this down to English. English. Where are you here? The other one had English US. Why do I not see that here? Espanol. English India. It's already, that's why. English United States. The one that came yesterday was English United Kingdom, and I need to scroll down for it. Doesn't matter. Canada, yes. Setting our region. Yep, all that is good. User agreement, I'm going to agree. Checking for a SIM card, we're going to skip that. We're going to just go next. We're going to attach to this one. Hold on a second. I like that it had, this one has a really nice haptic feel. The C40 was okay, but this one's definitely more prominent. I just don't remember what I just put in here. Try that. Obtaining, here we go. Yeah, we're good. Sweet. Next. Next. Getting your phone ready. Definitely you can already sense the speed difference between these two phones, which you should, right? Which you should. You're looking at more of flagship performance versus, bargain basement. I would think everything in this is going to be considerably faster. So we'll get her going. We'll get her going to the point where she's physically booted up. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and get everything installed and downloaded and all the firmware upgrades done, etc., etc. And then we'll come back and, like I said, do all the testing. So copy apps. Yep. I like to do this. Can't use old device. This should have a restore data without old device. Yes. Can I just log in? I should be able to just log in. Come on. Let me log in. Because I could just do it off of this device, I'm guessing. There we go. I think I can just put in my Gmail, my Google information. And as long as your previous phone has a backup, which mine does, I should be able to get that to download all of it. Let's see. Yeah, sending on this phone. Very cool. Yes, it's me. I agree. And yeah, setting it up really to get to the part where, you know what? Yeah. Get to the part where it is functional as a phone. 5-10 minutes, right? Choose what you want to restore. I want to restore everything because I like to have all my phones the same. Google services, yeah, I just next it, get it going. We're going to set up the fingerprint scanner, and this should be my guess probably on that button right there. So we're going to set a pin first. Yes. Come on. There we go. Pin. Yes. Followed by it a second time. Pin. Yes. There we go. Ready? So we just there. Yeah, see, I like that better than on the back. I just find it's easier to kind of feel. Now, the other one's set up really fast. No, like zero complaints on the C40. But partial, what is it talking about? Okay. Move your finger. Yeah, the other one's set up faster for sure. But this one's doing its trick. I just like the positioning because it's easy for me to find the button. Come on, you can do it. Where are you? There you are. It's got to be close. It's got to be close. All right, there you go. And then we're going to grab all of our Google services. Yep. I'm just accepting away continue setup. Because you could leave this and do this later, but I'm pushing through it right now. Right? We got a lot of it. And if you've done all this voice match because you've done Google stuff before, then you just kind of, yes. I encourage you guys to make sure you read the screens. Just make sure you know what you're saying yes to. What is this? Check out faster with your phone. Oh, yeah, because this one has NFC, right? So you'd be able to actually choose cards. So I'm not going to set that up right now, so I'm going to skip that. But you could. Anything else that I want to do? No. Getting your phone ready. This may take a few minutes. It'll probably take more than a few minutes because of the fact that, like I said, it's now got to download the apps and get everything ready. But I will do that in the background. I will go upstairs, install everything, download all the software, do all the firmware updates, get everything up to par. So far, significantly faster. All right, guys, I'll see you in a few minutes. All right, guys, so today we're back. I had to take some time away yesterday, so I had to update this and get it all ready, but it's ready. So let's dive into it, shall we? So first, let's look at the camera. So this has got a much better camera, let's say, than the C40 did on yesterday. So default-wise, if you look at photos, we'll just come here, just do a normal photo. And let's just do one of, do I have anything that's kind of textury? Doesn't really look like it. Stuff's falling over. Here's some headphones, ready? We'll just kind of get them there. And front-facing camera, normal, right? Like that's nothing wrong with that. That's a nice camera. You get a nice little bit, I was close, nice little bit of depth of field, right? So you can see in the background a little bit of blur on it. And that's just shooting normal. Very cool. If we spin it around, take a picture of my mug. We can also see, where are we here? Again, you guys get it. It's a video of a picture of a screen. So, but same idea. Like that's good texture in there. I'm impressed. And what's nice too, hopefully you guys can see it. I don't know if you can, but like there's no blowout even on my cheek here because I get a lot of light here and over here I don't, and it's impressive actually, quite impressive. So if we go to portrait mode, ready? We'll come over here, do a portrait mode. I'll give you a different look. This is like that, I guess. And then we do have the ability in portrait mode to go there and change how much blur we want. So, but surprisingly, it's got actually a really nice cutout. Right, where am I? Down here, sorry. Rick, it is. The cutout on it is quite good. Even there where I had this little piece kind of come out around the hat, it cut that out, and it didn't falter. So yeah, no, that's all right. And I think if we were to spin that camera around and bring this and say, no, let's bring it all the way to, which way here? All the way to, that's F16, that's F1. Okay, so we're going to shoot it this way. And I think I can use the volume buttons. I'm using the screen there so I can see where I am right there. Ready? It's probably good looking. Not really, but yeah, no, it does a really, like, that's got a really good job, and that's at f1 to figure. So there's a lot of blur back there. You guys can see that, right? Look at that amount of blur back there. All right, like, and it doesn't have like an iPhone which has like a depth camera, so well, that's pretty impressive. If we go to Pro mode on here, this is where we can set it up to 64, right? 64 Ultra HD is on. So I think this is only on this camera. So again, we'll come down here and just take a shot of my headphones. And 64 megapixels, like, man, you can just zoom in. Like, look at that. Look at the texture. You guys see the texture? You see the texture on my headphones. Yeah, that's all right. And I'm always like, I don't know if it's actual, like if it's a lot of just processing that gets us up to 64 megapixels, but whatever, it still looks good. And if we spun this around, same idea, just to get a shot of me. Ready? Where am I? Am I in the shot? Right there? Okay. And wait. Okay, we went with that one. That was the look we went with. But again, like you've got beard texture all the way into where you shouldn't. So, and you can see the pores on my face. You can see all I got some eyebrow hair going on in there. That's happening, I guess. So be it. Oh yeah, that's decent. That's super decent. And last but not least, we'll do a little video. So there's just a little, in the video mode, you have like a 1x. You have a, can I go all the way up? Oh, these are just going to be optical. But you can go optical to 6, not optical, sorry, to just electronic zoom up to 6. Okay, decent. But you can also switch cameras to just go 2 times, which is right here. This is 2 times. So this is going to be optical because it's just switching lenses. So that's all right. And then you also have the ability to go to 0.6. So you get the 0.6 on there. Now again, with the photo camera as well, you know, when you're switching, I should have showed you that, right? When you're in Pro Photo, you do have the ability to go to wide, normal, macro. Now macro, again, like, it's cool for sure. It's cool, but because it's 2 megapixels, I don't know. It definitely has a, you can, like, here, I don't know if you guys can see that, but like, where am I? Like, it can't focus on that, but when I switch to macro, right, where is it? It focuses no problem. So if you want to shoot macro, you got it. It functions. And just find 2 megapixels. You know, if you want to do anything outside of, I don't know, maybe like a Facebook post, then no way. Too many boxes, they're all falling over. Okay, some stuff is falling, but let's do some tests now, shall we? So number 1, we're gonna go to Geekbench, number 1, and we're gonna run CPU Bench. And we'll come back, we'll let that run. And again, we're just gonna, you know, I'm leaving this up to you. I wanna get a score for you so that you can take that score and put it up against whatever phone maybe that you're considering, or put it up against the phone that you currently have so that you can be like, yeah, no, it should be better, right? And always realize it's more about, I find it's more about usability. Like, I have an iPhone 13 Pro. Is its score gonna outperform this? In everything, 100%. Would I still be able to use this as a daily driver, this phone? Yeah, without question, I could use this and have no qualms, because it does everything I need it to do, and I should be able to be happy with the performance for quite a while. Now this phone, the C40, and we'll talk about that once this is all done. So I'll be right back. All right, so it just finished. Actually, it ran pretty fast. So you're getting a single core score of 966. Again, you're looking at, I would say, 5 to 6 times the speed of this one for 2 times the price. So that's really good. And multi-core of 3160. So actually, those are pretty reasonable, again, for a budget phone, right? So let's go back. Remember those numbers if you're comparing them to other phones. Let's go back here and we'll run the compute score. So we'll let that go right now so you have a baseline score when you're comparing as well. So we'll be back once this one finishes. All right, so it just finished the compute and 3482 OpenCL score. So again, use that number to compare it with other phones that you may be looking at. So anybody that's doing benchmarks, and hopefully that can help you make a decision. Let's close out of this. So we'll just make sure all this is, oops, make sure these are closed. And let's now go to 3D Mark. So what we're doing is we're using a specific one. This is the same one we tested yesterday, and this was the Slingshot Extreme. This is our base. Now, it did poorly, we'll say, on the C40. So we're going to run this, and my guess is this is going to do significantly better. Yes, significantly better. So hopefully you guys can see that come in. Like it's playing very smooth. It may be a little overexposed for you guys. I'll bring it up closer. But there you go. Like that's nice and smooth. No issues with that at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to let that run, and then we'll get our final scores for that test. Hold on. And I know you guys can't hear it, I just want to kid it, but the sound out of this little guy, like it sounds actually really good. Those little stereo speakers are really quite good. Like, give it a listen. Yeah, the speakers are decent for sure. All right, we'll be back when this is done. All right, so finished. First off, on the C40, we were getting like, I think it was the lowest we got was 1.3 frames per second, and the highest we got was like, I don't remember, 3.6 or something like that. So this is graphics score, maxed out. Sweet. But, you know, 59.6, these are frames per second, right? 58.10 in the graphics score on the first test, 28.5 in the second test, physics score 59.6, 33.4, and 18.7. So this did really well. Like this did surprisingly well actually for that. So I don't think if we're playing like anything, any games out there right now, probably we shouldn't have too much of an issue. Now higher end games, always you want the best available, right? But very, very happy with that. I think that's excellent. Now, the last test we're going to do, and this is a test for those of us that are just getting a phone because we're like, I'm just going to use this day to day. I don't play games on it. I don't do video editing, but I'd like to just manipulate some photos. I do spend a lot of time web browsing. I do spend a lot of time email and doing work stuff, right? So if you're doing that, we use PC Mark. So again, this is a good one for you guys to get. You're going to download it, Work 3.0, and we're going to run this. And basically what this does is it runs through that. So web browsing, web searching, basic video manipulation, basic photo manipulation, copy and pasting text, things like that, because this is the stuff you and I do day to day, and we want to make sure the phone can handle all this without, batting an eye. So again, we're going to let this go right now. You'll see it's doing the web browsing, how long it takes to do searches and things like that as it's searching through this list of information. But it'll do a whole bunch of stuff and give us a final score, and then we'll go on to our last test, which is trying out one game just to see. And we're almost near the end, but you guys can see kind of the tests I think that it's kind of doing, right? All kinds of, what is it doing now? Line charts. Oh yes. Again, not anything I would ever do, but some people that's what they do. It's graphs and charts and spreadsheets and PDFs and whatever. So, if it can handle all this kind of stuff, maybe the phone is just perfect for you. And it's definitely handling this. If it can handle all the other stuff I threw at it, this is going to be a cakewalk. And I don't know if you've noticed, I've noticed, that screen is nice and bright. It is so bright. I don't know if you can see it in comparison to this screen. Just to turn it on. I think this phone's on. No. Oh yeah, there it is. No, I left it on last night and it's dead. But considerably brighter. So much brighter, which is really nice. Oh, I think we got our results. So there we go. You guys see that there? 10,405. So again, put that up against any of the other ones or a phone that you currently have, probably, just to see if it's better. But that's a good number. Nothing wrong with that. Last but not least, let's see if I have such a thing here. We're gonna try a game. Just something fast. Some Need for Speed, because it's fast. And we're just gonna let it. It's just downloading right now, so we're just gonna let it finish, and then we'll be back to give it a try. All right. Okay. So I think we're ready. We're going to race. Okay. This is Need for Speed. My guess is this should be good. That's the hope. Oh yeah, no, it looks fine. No stuttering. Gas pedal. Perfect launch. Oops. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with this. This runs super smooth. And that was it. Yeah. What more do you want? Nothing. That's what you want. Well, you might, but plays games. It's got a good camera. It does good video. Audio is really good. Usability is really good. If you put it up against the C40, there is night and day difference. I would, without question, use this as a daily driver. I would not use this as a daily driver. If you're getting the C40, highly think about saving up some extra money. This is for the person that, $200 Canadian is a stretch. If you can save up the 500-ish, depending on the configuration, this is a much better option and the option that I would go with. That's it, guys. I'm going to leave you there. If you have any other questions on the new F4, let me know, and maybe we'll do a second video, maybe do a comparison video. Leave comments, and that's it. Hope this video helped you out, and we'll see you guys next video. Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you guys hopefully tomorrow. Later, my friends.